So I had honors English by college. On the college entrance exam, I finished the test on time and way before the time ran out. So I didn't need any extended time on the test. They didn't offer it to me either. They were surprised by my results. I tested into honors English and math. I qualified for honors in all subjects when I took the college entrance exam and qualified for scholarships as well. In high school, I was a 4.0 student and qualified to graduate in 3 years, even missing a semester sophomore year. This is even including going to like 5 different high schools by the time I was a junior. I tested 3 to 5 grades ahead in 7th grade. In 7th grade, I tested into the 100th percentile in math and science. I tested into high school and college level in all other areas. Then 7th grade English in 7th grade because the test ran out of time. If they gave me the extra 10 minutes to finish the test, I would have scored into high school level or higher as well. The significance of this is because even though English was my worst subject in elementary school, only because the tests were timed, by college it became a strength and I tested into honors English and math. I qualified for honors in any subject. Even the college was surprised by my scores. Apparently, it wasn't common for students to test that high on an entrance exam. And something else that is significant about this is over time, in the years following 7th grade, I learned how to speed up, in tests and go a lot faster. Same with BMX racing. Around 8th grade is when I really started excelling in school and sports. It took about 2 years of BMX racing before I started winning state championships, district champion, national age group plates, winning nationals, and getting sponsorships. Eventually becoming Gold Cup champion, Race of Champions #1 twice, and even made it professionally with factory sponsorships. Traveling with the top professional BMX racers in the world and in the country. And I even got a passport because I was going to go to other countries to race BMX. Since my dream was always to, make it on an Olympic team. And Team Sweden, because I am half Swedish, Team Sweden said I could ride for their Olympic team. Until I broke my neck BMX racing. That is when God saved my life. God, from the law of one, if you guys know about the law of one and the 7 densities of soul evolution. So because I could have died or I could have been paralyzed, so God literally saved my life. So sometimes it just takes a little time to really get good. I hope this is encouragement for anyone out there. All right, so this is 10 to 13 years old BMX racing. So 10 years old, state and district champion right here. This is me with all my trophies. Yes, I was always tan. This room makes me look lighter than I really am. My skin's actually more tan, but this light's lit. This room is lit up. But yeah, always been tan. Just if I go outside, ride my bike, I become super tan. And then jumping 15 feet at 10 years old. So what happened was I started BMX racing at 8 years old, but by 10, my parents bought me a lighter bike. So sometimes just buying better equipment, a better bike. And then next thing you know, I was used to a heavier bike. Next thing I know, this bike's way lighter. So I'm jumping. I was getting air when I wasn't even trying. And then by 13, actually by 12, I was jumping 20 feet. So jumping 20 feet at 13, Race of Champions #1. And back when I was 12, 13, girls weren't jumping. There was only 5% of the girls could jump. Maybe even less at that point. Nowadays, it's more common, but when I was growing up, it wasn't as common. So my wall of number plates, all these #1 plates, World Cup number 5 in the world. All this trophy, my rock jacket, Race of Champions #1 jacket, jumping a 20-foot double. This is right before I became professional. And then jumping a 24-foot double in the pros. And this says Killa because that was my nickname. Killicatherine, right? Jumping 24-foot jumps in the pros. 4 national wins 2 weekends. That's at 12 years old. Yes, I have raced against Olympians as well. So these are like my 4 first place trophies. This was second place trophy, but that was to like an Olympian, somebody who was like in the Olympics. Yeah, wow, that is it. I meant to, conducting this video February 19, 2023 from the beginning. I didn't know it was only those 6 slides. Yeah, so just wanted to show you guys because I recently did a video saying that in 7th grade I tested into high school and college classes, except for 7th grade. My lowest score was 7th grade level in 7th grade, so that's average in English. But what's significant about that is by high school, only 2 years later, I became a 4.0 student. I'm getting A's in English. And I could graduate high school in 3 years. Probably could have done it in 2 years, but I kept going to like 5, 6, 7 different schools. Like every semester, I was always like the new student. And then by college, I did the college entrance exam, and I tested into calculus, which is honors math, and then tested into honors English. So, and they're surprised. And I was like, okay, I was surprised because I was like, whoa, English was like my worst subject, and now I'm testing into honors. So I just wanted to show you guys that because like my friend asked me, my friend was like, oh, okay, so how did you do in English in high school and college? And I was like, oh crap, I probably should have told people that actually by college I was honors English, which is pretty cool because I always remembered what the teachers taught me in high school, like how to write papers and stuff like that, always remembered. So ever since they taught me like, this is how you do it, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I never forgot it. And I think students that don't know how to write like that, the way that we're taught in school, if you didn't pay attention, then, those people didn't test into honors. But something I always remembered. All right, guys, just wanted to show you guys my excelled in school, 3 to 5 grades ahead. Oh, another fun fact about me is through marriage, I'm related to Albert Einstein. Yeah. So, and my dad's a genius. So I think I got my analytical brain from my dad, which is pretty cool. And the athletic part, because my dad was also an athlete. And to this day, my dad's an inventor, making all these inventions and stuff like that. They call him the Nikola Tesla of today. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So his brain's kind of scientific, but my brain's kind of scientific, but in a different way. He's more like the scientific, like in the invention way, like inventing things. And I'm more scientific in like the theoretical way, like physics, quantum physics, stuff like that. The law of one is PhD level in metaphysics. So, yeah. And I had some people ask me, so what's the 4th density in the 7 densities of soul evolution? So humans are the 3rd density. And it's the choosing. You choose either service to self, which is the negative path, or service to others, which is the positive path. Jesus came from the 4th density positive into the 3rd density earth. So that's why he was able to do more miraculous things. So when I talk about soul evolution, I'm not saying we evolved from chimpanzees. No, I'm not saying that. What soul evolution is first, like, for example, I would have been like water in the 1st density, 2nd density, plant life, and then late 2nd density, animal life. 3rd density, humans. It's the choosing. Are you going to choose the positive path or the negative path? 4th density is, did you choose positive or negative? Me, I'm choosing positive path, which is service to others. And that's where Jesus came from, the 4th density. So that's when you could do more like miraculous things. There's 4th density positive alien lives out there. So some people question, like, was Jesus an alien? Jesus came from another planet, another star system into this planet. So he came from a more evolved, planet. So yeah, Jesus most likely was an alien, but more evolved and more advanced than us. So after this lifetime, I could go into the fourth density in the next lifetime. So, yep. And then the fifth density is of wisdom. That's where Jesus is right now, is in the fifth density wisdom. Where the fifth and sixth density is the council for the angels. And the seventh density is the guardians, the guardian angels. So that's what the seven densities of soul evolution mean. So I talk about evolution, and then I hear people make videos, and they say like, oh no, evolution doesn't exist. We don't come from chimpanzees. Never once did I ever say we came from chimpanzees. Like the second density is animal life. So like, and each of these densities, we could go through each density spending like millions and millions of years in each density. So I already made a video about that, and I could make another video on that. But that's just something I wanted to talk to you guys about, because it's kind of funny. Like a lot of people make assumptions and they misinterpret what I'm trying to say, and then they make videos about it, talking about things that I've never said. So, for example, I said soul evolution, the seven densities of soul evolution. And then they'll make videos saying like, oh, no, we didn't come from chimpanzees or whatever it might have been. And it's like, no, people could spend millions of years in the four elements, earth, fire, water, air, space. So, for example, for me, it would be water. And then once you go to the second density, after millions of years, then I went into plant life, late second density, and animal. Like who knows which animal it was? For all I know, it could have been like a dog or a cat. And then after, millions of years, then you go into the third density. The third density isn't as long, like 75,000 years. And we're at the end of the 75,000 year cycle. So that's where we're about to go into the fourth density. And it even says in the Bible, there will be a new heaven and a new earth. So, yeah, so then I chose fourth density. You just have to be 51% service to others. And in your heart, in your soul, how you would want to serve others. It could be studying science, and that's how you're serving others. It could be being a nurse. You're serving others. You feed the homeless, you're serving others. But in your soul, like for me, it's studying all this knowledge. And I actually had a channeling session done. Well, somebody else did the channeling. I didn't. But he did the channeling session. His name's Sam. And you guys could do the channeling session too if you want. Ask Sam, the illusionist, what your past lives were. And that's how I knew I was water, and then plant life, and then an animal. Who knows which animal? Could have been a dog or a cat or a monkey. I love monkeys, so oh my God. I would have a pet monkey one day if I could. And then third density is the choosing. He said that I've already chosen service to others, but I need to meditate more. So meditating could actually help you evolve more. So that's key into like evolving. So yeah, it's exciting stuff. So that's how I learned about that. So that's why Jesus came to earth. Jesus came to earth because he wanted to show humanity that separation is just an illusion, that it's an illusion in this third density life. We're under this, like as Einstein once said, we're under the delusion of separation when we're part of a whole. So how are we part of the whole? The universe is one being, and you're a cell in the universe. So we are all one. That's what oneness is. And that's the ultimate truth. So in this channeling session, I asked what my purpose is. And I even asked if it's okay to be gay, And in the channeling session, they said, we have free will. So because of free will, yes, you're allowed to be gay. I'm like, okay, cool. Because I just want to know the truth, If God says it's not okay, then all right, I will, then I will tell people it's not okay. But in the channeling session, it said it's okay. God honors free will. And hell doesn't exist, and you don't go to hell. How you move to the fourth density is just being 51% service to others. For some people, it's being a nurse. In your heart. So for me, I love learning. I could spend 8 hours a day researching, and I believe that if I share the law of one with humanity, that's the truth of where Jesus came from, that's the truth of who we are. By sharing the law of one with people and telling them that all they have to do is be 51% service to others, if they choose, the positive path, then that's how they could go into the fourth density. And it's going to be more of like a heaven-like, living experience. And if people aren't at least 51 service to others, then they're going to reincarnate into another planet, into a third density planet, and it won't be Earth, because Earth is now a fourth density planet. So you don't go to hell, you just go to a third density planet, just like Earth, and you have to continue learning and growing and evolving until you could get into the fourth density eventually, So I'm like, no, I want to do it in this lifetime. So that's why, yes, this lifetime, I want to get into that fourth density. So it even said my purpose is, when I did the channeling session, my purpose is to teach people about reincarnation cycles and heart-centeredness. So I'm like, so that's why I teach the law of one. I'm like, that reminds me of the law of one. It talks about the reincarnation cycles. And I'm like, this is my purpose. And to read A Course in Miracles and teach about what God really meant about the things in the Bible. Like the Son of God, that's why Jesus said, I am the Son of God. The Son of God is you. The Son of God is me. It's all of us, because God only has one creation. So that's what A Course in Miracles does, is it shows us, it corrects what people misinterpreted in the Bible. And it helps you find the peace of God. It helps you find the love of God. How do you know that the Course in Miracles is real and legit? The Course in Miracles is real and legit because it has the fruits of the Spirit. It has, the fruits of who God is, which is love. It talks about love and compassion. And you don't make people feel guilty, and you don't make people feel ashamed. Oh, you're doing this and you're doing that. I can't believe you did that, pointing the finger at people. That's the negative path. If you make people feel guilty, ashamed, condemned, like condemning people to hell and stuff like that, that's the negative path. A lot of Christians do that. A lot of Christians don't realize that they're on the negative path, influenced by demonic forces when they're making people feel guilty and shamed. They're choosing the selfish path, the service to self path. When you're making people feel guilty and ashamed and condemned, that's what I see Christianity like all about. So, and the law of one is the opposite, is making people feel loved, and how God views humanity. He looks at his children. We are all children of God, even gay people. We're all children of God. And he looks at us like innocent children. People only do things at their level of consciousness, at their level of awareness. If they knew better, they wouldn't do those things. So, for example, just like a murderer kills someone because he thinks it's going to make him happy. But God views that as a sickness, to be killing people. And if that murderer knew who he was, if he knew that he's a son of God, that we are all one, that if you kill somebody, if you hurt somebody, you're hurting yourself. And so yes, that person, that murderer, definitely needs to go to jail and learn his lesson. But people in jail should be taught the Course in Miracles, because if people truly knew the concepts and the lessons in A Course in Miracles, then they would choose to do what's right. So that's the best thing that I could do in my life right now, is just do exactly what I'm doing now. And even if I don't get enough views right now, views and subscribers, this is new. Like when Christianity first came on the scene, it probably wasn't super popular, but people were still spreading the information, just like the Law of One. This isn't super popular yet, but it's getting more and more popular. And in the coming years, it's going to pay off. Like maybe it'll pay off because even if it's not me spreading the Law of One in a big way, it would make me happy if somebody else is spreading the Law of One, because I want all these people to evolve to a higher level of awareness. I want these people to move into the fourth density positive, so even if it's somebody else who's doing that, then that's fine. But of course, it's going to be my goal to, make more videos about A Course in Miracles and the Law of One, because that's the greatest thing I could do in my life, is to help people spiritually evolve. So, yep, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. You guys are awesome. And I will see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.